Hello and welcome to today's business programme. I'm Liz Hay and joining me in the studio is my special guest, Jonathan Kattenberg. He is Director of LWC Wealth Management and Director of Life Wealth Coaching. He's a fully trained financial advisor, life coach and clinical hypnotherapist. And this unique blend of knowledge and skills makes Jonathan a true success in his field. And I'm delighted he could join us today. Hi Jonathan.
Hiya.
And welcome to the programme.
Thank you.
Ethical wealth management.
Yes.
What actually is ethical wealth management?
To me, ethical wealth management is about how you look after the client. You can deal with wealth management in its own right, but actually how we understand the client's mind. And I see so often over the years of helping clients financially with the planning, there hasn't been enough done, in my opinion, in the profession to understand the client's mind. So to me, ethical wealth management is about understanding the client first, understanding what their aims and objectives are in life, dealing with any limiting beliefs and any conditional programming that's in their unconscious mind before they actually get into any form of financial planning.
And how important is it that we consider ethical practices in the way that we manage our wealth?
I think it's absolutely paramount. The wealth profession, shall we say, hasn't had the best of reputations over the years. It's upgraded itself in many ways and it continues to do that with professional qualifications and legislation change and so on, but it's absolute paramount.
Now, I often consider wealth a very interesting but often ambiguous term, and I'm sure that many of us at home, viewers at home, won't necessarily consider themselves wealthy.
Yeah.
How would you describe wealth, Jonathan?
Well, it depends on how you're conditioned with that. To me, wealth is about having inner peace. That's first and foremost, because if you don't have inner peace from within, then what's the money all about? Because you can have the biggest bank balance in the world, but if you're not happy from within truly, then you're not really wealthy. So it's about inner peace.
And what does your typical customer look like?
Oh, well, a typical client, shall we say, it's anybody that wants to get from A to B, who wants to learn more about themselves, how to achieve the life they desire in a way that serves them and not the system.
Okay, so tell us, how did life wealth coaching come about?
So back in the 90s, when I became a financial advisor, I've always argued that we should be learning clients' minds before we even get to financial products. And I went on a personal journey myself. So I've learnt through mistakes. I'm human. And I'm not here saying that I'm perfect in my life, in the sense that I didn't get it right all the time. But I don't think there was, and I feel there wasn't enough, and still isn't enough done about helping clients really understand how the mind works. So as I was helping clients over the years and learning my own journey and learning how the mind really works, I got to a point where I thought there needs to be more done about this. So this is where life wealth coaching came about. It was a case of you can have, for example, LWC Wealth Management, which is the financial advisory wealth management practice, but actually that's there. We need to be looking at the clients as an individual in helping them understand their mind. So I wanted to create an organisation that actually focused purely on that, helping clients understand how the mind works, helping them and educating them how financial products work to their benefit, so then they can make more informed decisions when they're dealing with advisors.
And how would your clients describe you, Jonathan?
Yeah. They would describe me as no nonsense. I'm naturally full of empathy and respectful and professional and sincere how I go about looking after clients, but they know when they're dealing with me, there's no get out of jail card. It's a case of we will approach everything, albeit respectfully and professionally, because that's what clients pay me to do. Help them get from A to B and get that transition to whatever point they need to be at. So they know there's no escaping.
So tell us, Jonathan, what's one of the hardest challenges you faced when running your business?
The hardest challenge is when you're seeing a client on a journey and you're wanting to give everything you've got to give for them, but you've got to stand back and allow them to take the reins, shall we say. And it's like when you see kids growing up, and I've got 2 lads, and you can teach them all you want, but you've got to stand back at times and let them experience it. So one of the hardest challenges is standing back and watching a client take the journey and take control of the reins themselves once they've got all the newfound learnings and so on. And that's quite a hard challenge because you're so passionate about helping them, but you've got to be able to stand back.
So does switching off become important then?
Absolutely.
Do you have to know when to stop?
I do, and it took me many years to do that. But I have quite a few passions of personal hobbies which support that.
So you've hinted there at switching off, a bit of self-care. Can you tell us how you like to switch off?
Yeah, well, I have no limiting beliefs. It's a bold statement, but I truly believe anything's possible in life if you know how to work with your mind. Obviously, there's curveballs in life, there's various things that you cannot influence, but if you're geared in a certain way, you'll go out there and aim to achieve whatever you desire. So I'll take on challenges. So, for example, I'm scared of heights, but I go ridge climbing without ropes.
Wow.
On my own, because I know it puts me in a position where I actually have to deal with the situation at hand. Now, some people say, that's a bit crazy, John, you've got kids. What happens? What if? I say, well, I could be driving down the road and what if? So I've just got back from Alaska where I was looking to do a 1,000-mile unsupported expedition trek on my own in temperatures of -50.
-50.
Which is an interesting experience because you need your wits about you, you need to be able to work in any environment. So when things are challenging you, electronics don't work properly in that environment. So, and you take your gloves off to do something, you've not got a long time to get the thing, whatever it is you're dealing with, resolved. Otherwise you end up with frostbite.
And how important is mindset and attitude for all this?
If you don't have it in place, I was talking with the organiser yesterday and with a few other individuals. I said it doesn't matter how much survival training or race experience you have, if your mind isn't able to cope with those environments and being challenged at that extreme, it can break you and be quite fatal if you're not careful.
Absolutely. Wow.
So,
Thank you, Jonathan. Well, that's been an interesting insight into an area of wealth management so often misunderstood. And it's been fascinating to hear more about yourself and your businesses as well.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. It's just helping people get where they want to be.
Now, that's all we have time for on today's show, but do join us again next week on the business programme.